never knew silence could bruise until the night my family taught me that love, when twisted long enough, starts to look like servitude. My name is Mara Celine, I'm 33, and the moment that broke me didn't come from a fight or a betrayal. It came from a toast. A stupid, careless toast that we were at my parents' house, cramped around a table too small for the noise we always brought with us. My sister Rowan was swirling her wine like she was hosting a talk show, already soaking in the attention she barely had to work for. I'd barely cut into the overcooked turkey when she stood up and clinked her glass. "If Mara's not going to watch the kids this year," she said with a breezy laugh, "she might as well skip Christmas." The room erupted in chuckles. Even my father smiled into his drink. No one looked at me. Not once did I felt the heat burn across my cheeks. Sharp, humiliating, like someone had slapped me and then asked why I was being sensitive. But everyone just kept eating, kept drinking, kept moving on. My mother didn't flinch. My brother inspected his fork as if the joke didn't involve me at all. It wasn't a joke. It was an instruction. And the worst part? I was paying for everything. The entire holiday trip, $14,600 worth of mountain chalet, private shuttle, upgraded flights, ski passes, massages, curated meal boxes, all of it. Every year someone had an excuse. Rowan and her husband were recovering financially. My brother was starting fresh. My parents had home renovations. But me? Single, successful, child-free Mara. I became the designated wallet, the dependable mule, the one who was so generous they didn't even have to pretend anymore. And this year they didn't just want the trip. They wanted the trip, and then wanted to stick me inside the cabin to babysit 4 screaming children while they lived out a Christmas postcard I funded. Not one of them thought I might want joy too. I said nothing. Years of being the agreeable daughter had programmed me. Smile. Help. Stay quiet. Don't ruin the mood. Don't make them uncomfortable. I cleared dishes. I hugged everyone goodbye. I drove home. But on the drive back something small and furious cracked open inside my chest. A little shard of myself I'd ignored for years finally pushed through. They didn't say that by accident. They had discussed it, planned it, assumed it, and not one of them cared enough to ask. At 1:17 a.m., pacing my apartment like an animal trapped behind its own politeness, I called the only person in my family who had ever bothered to really see me, my Aunt Corinne. I told her everything. Halfway through she exhaled and said, "They're using you, sweet girl. And the worst part is, they don't even feel guilty." For the first time that night, I felt my heartbeat slow, so I opened the family group chat. Scrolled past the itinerary links, the wish lists, the passive-aggressive reminders. Then I typed, "Good news. Since I'm not attending Christmas, the $14,600 isn't attending either." Then I called the travel coordinator. And with a few quiet confirmations, the world they built on my back collapsed. Chalet canceled. Flights reversed. Passes voided. Reservations deleted. Everything had been under my name because it's easier, Mara. Apparently easier for them. I sat on my couch afterward waiting. It didn't take long. Rowan called first. Twice. Then, "What is wrong with you?" My mother texted. "This is not the moment for theatrics." My brother. "You're ruining Christmas for everyone." Not one apology. Not 1 ounce of self-reflection. Just panic over losing their vacation. But I felt calm, cold, steady, unfamiliar. They had finally pushed the wrong version of me by morning. After 14 missed calls and enough guilt-laced messages to fill a novel, my mother delivered the final blow. "If you're choosing to disconnect yourself from the family, it's best you stay home. We'll regroup in January." I stared at the screen. Not because it surprised me, but because of how quickly they exiled me once I stopped being useful. I forwarded the message to Aunt Corinne. She answered in 5 seconds. "Good. Come here for Christmas. And I swear if you lift a single finger, I'll tie you to a chair." Her house wasn't fancy, but it was warm in a way the luxury cabin never had been. The smell of cinnamon rolls. The sound of floorboards that creaked with history. A kitchen cluttered with actual life. Christmas morning felt like breathing for the first time in years. No frantic group texts. No shopping lists disguised as requests. No siblings treating me like an employee they forgot to pay. Just peace. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Rowan. "Kids are wondering where Auntie Mara is." No apology. Just weaponized guilt. Before I could respond, Corinne slid a mug toward me. Ignore it, she said. Your silence is the first boundary they've ever had to face. I flipped my phone over, screen down. By noon my cousin Talia called, cheeks red from cold, whispering like she was delivering frontline updates. You won't believe this, your family rebooked the whole trip, but it's a total circus. I raised an eyebrow. The new place is tiny, she whispered dramatically. 2 bedrooms. Rowan's husband is sleeping in the rental car because the kids keep screaming. Your brother's girlfriend brought some mushroom roast thing that your mom said smelled like wet laundry, so she locked herself in the bathroom. And your dad tried to deep fry a turkey on the porch and nearly started a fire. I covered my mouth, laughing into my sleeve. And Rowan, she continued, is blaming everyone. Says you sabotaged Christmas. Calls it, get this, an ambush. Ambush. I snorted. Honestly, that makes me sound powerful. You kind of are, Talia said. They're falling apart without you. A quiet sadness hit me then. Not because I missed them, but because she was right, they didn't crumble without me. They crumbled without the utility of me. That evening I curled up on Corinne's couch while she wrapped gifts with her grandkids. They fought about tape and ribbon and tags like tiny gremlins, and instead of feeling drained, I felt warm. This was chaos without cruelty. Later that night, Corinne sealed a thick envelope at the dining table. Something about the way she pressed the flap shut made my stomach tighten. What's that? I asked. A little holiday surprise, she said. For Rowan. She slid a copy toward me. It was a spreadsheet. 5 years of every expense I'd ever covered. Every trip, every emergency, every holiday, every meal, every repair, every favor. Color-coded. Itemized. Totaled. $132,000. My breath froze in my throat. You kept all of this? You sent me most of the receipts, she said. You didn't realize you were asking for help. So I held on to them for the day you finally stopped protecting people who wouldn't protect you. My phone buzzed then. Rowan, why would you do this? My brother. You blindsided us. But then a private message from Rowan's husband. I'm sorry. I didn't know. You deserved better. Then silence. Real heavy silence. 11:22 p.m. Rowan messaged again. I need to talk to you. Please. The next day she arrived alone, without her usual dramatic windstorm of complaints and perfume. She stood on Corinne's porch like a child waiting for someone to scold her. I didn't know, she whispered when I opened the door. I didn't know how much you carried. She looked smaller. Not physically, just deflated. Honest in a way I had never seen. She held out an envelope. Check. Not the full amount, but real. Effort. Accountability. It's what we can do right now, she said. I'll keep paying you back. I swear. I didn't take it. Did I let it sit between us like a mirror she finally had to look into? I'm not angry that you needed help, I said quietly. I'm angry that none of you ever asked if I wanted to help. She cried then. Really cried. I miss you, she whispered. Not the favors. Not the money. Just you. Her arms hovered in the air. Can I hug you? I hesitated, then nodded. For the first time in years, I let myself be held. The next morning my parents arrived, nervous and red-eyed. No gifts. No empty cheer. Just 2 aging people forced to reckon with the truth. My father spoke first. We failed you, he said. We didn't see what we didn't want to see. And that's on us. Then my mother whispered something I'd waited 30 years to hear. We took advantage of your kindness, Mara. And we're sorry.